Full screen. Hello, good afternoon, everyone who all are joining in and who may join later in the event today. So, I think you must have heard about this term, this sentence that is called data visualization. So, same, we are having a webinar on. So, before we move on to the webinar, before we know a lot more about the science today, the data analysis, data science, and data visualization, I hope that you are doing good, happy, sound, and healthy. I know that you're as eager as I am to know this hot term that is data. Everywhere we go, like you have joined here in this platform, and you go everywhere. I mean, every site, every social media you use, your data is being captured. Have you ever wondered how does that data look like? And who makes it feasible for us or for anyone to look like in any form? You're eager to know, right? And I am also eager to know that too. So for that, we have our expert here, Dr. Robin Prakash Mathur. So before I introduce him to you all, I hope that you will be attentively attending this session. So Dr. Robin Prakash Mathur is an assistant professor here in School of Computer Science and Engineering, lovely professional university. He also has a demonstrated history of working in management industry, and he has completed his PhD in mobile cloud computing. His area of interests are in graphic theory, stochastic processes, queuing theory, and graph partitioning, and many others as well. And he has a teaching experience in database programming like SQL and PL, data visualization, Java, Python, data mining, and various others as well. So with this, I would like to welcome Robin sir, in the webinar today, and we're eager to know and learn about this science. And before I request you to carry on this session, I want all the participants to know that now you can post in your queries, your questions in chat box or Q&A box, and you can raise your hands as well to have a live chat session or live session with our expert here. Now with this, sir, I would want you to please take over the screen, and looking forward for an amazing session.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Himanshi ma'am. I welcome all the participants in the webinar. I welcome you all on behalf of School of Computer Science Engineering. I'm Dr. Robin Prakash Mathur. I'm working as a faculty in School of Computer Science Engineering, and I'm teaching the courses of databases, data science from past various years. In this discussion, the topic of our discussion of webinar is the power of visualization in data analysis. So most of us are aware of what visualization is and what is the relevance of it in the modern data analytics or modern data science. This all we will discuss. As I'm continuing this discussion, seeking that most of the majority of the learners are like on a very pre-level knowledge, like they're coming from a school or like they're just going with the undergraduate courses. So I'm just preparing my content on that behalf only. So welcome to this session. The topic is the power of visualization in data analysis. So what is the agenda, like what we will try to cover in next half an hour, 45 minutes. The brief idea about what data visualization is, the tabular form of data, what are dashboards, and we will see like how we can create a beautiful dashboard in some tools, industry-based tools like Tableau. So Tableau is one of the very famous tool, like it is oftenly used in the industries with the other tools like Power BI and ClickSense and all. So we will have some hands-on session on Tableau as well. So where this visualization comes from, like if you see like from the starting of the human civilization, we believe on the visuals. So the very primitive image that we found during the archaeological survey, like it is like 6200 BC, where we find some ancient map in Cattle Huyuk. So this is a very primitive image. Like these images were found in the walls of the olden civilization. Such images were there. So it means like our ancestors, thousands years from now back, they were using the visualization for keeping the information. So like you can see that how human perceives visualization from so many years. There are certain examples, many examples, but in past 200 years, like from now, this something like in 1854, there was a cholera epidemic in London. So the doctors, the scientists were very eager to know what is the reason behind this. So most of the data scientists, or you can say the mathematician at those times, they capture the data, like what like where the number of patients are higher, and they want to know what is a prime reason uh, behind this epidemic. So they just lay out the total number of patients on the basis of the frequency on the London map, and they found that most of the people who were sick were lying or were living near the river of the which is flowing in the London. At the end, they take the water sample from the river, and they found that there was some problem in the water, and because of that, most of the people were suffering from the cholera disease. So this is not now that in the data science industry or in the IT industry, people are using the visualization technique, but from the last 1,000 year or most after the industry revolution, people are using the data visualization techniques. What data visualization is. So finally, there should be some official definition or some form definition that every learner should see. So what data visualization is, it is the graphical representation of information and data by using visual elements like charts, graphs, and maps, and map data visualization tools provides an accessible way to see and understand trends, outliers, and patterns in the data. So it's a graphical representation. So we try to plot our data on the XY coordinate. Once I say XY coordinate, I assume that my listeners understand the basic geometry where we draw some plots on the pages. Like in our mathematics problem, we have stats and all. So we have X axis and Y axis. So we plot the various charts on those XY axis. So these are the graphical images which we plot, and with the help of this, as a learner, we, or as a user, we interpret the data. And what we interpret in this, we interpret the various trends. We understand the outliers, we understand the patterns. Trend means what is trending now. For example, if somebody says that this particular cloth is in trend right now, so how can we say that a particular piece of cloth is in trend? By seeing the frequency of the purchase item. For example, there is a sales of a mobile phone. So now you see a mobile phone is launched in the market, and in the consecutive months, every time the frequency of the selling is rising. So we are seeing that there is a rising pattern observed in the data, and we say, okay, this is a trending right now. So iPhone or Samsung phone or maybe a different mobile phones right now in the market, they're trending on the basis of the frequency or the number on which we sell it. Now, what is outlier? Outlier is something that is a value which is living in our data set or in our value or data that we have, but it seems some abnormal value. For example, normally I take this example in my classes also. Like there's a student who is having a bank account, and now what is the maximum transaction a student can do in a day, or what should be the minimum and maximum account a transaction amount is going in the bank of that student. So normally student, he may receive a fees from their parents, okay, some a few 1, 2, 3 lakh rupees, and normally spend they spend some 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, 5,000 rupees in a week, or maybe per day, or due to some parties and all. So this is a normal, you can say, movement of money in a student account. Now, like all of a sudden in a student account, there is somewhat like 20 lakh rupees comes in. There is somewhat like 30 lakh rupees comes in a student bank account. Although it's a numeric value, it's an acceptable value in the bank account, but how come a student have these huge amount of money in their bank account? So this is something like a fishy thing going on. So we call it as an outlier. Outlier is an abnormal value, or which reside in the data set. So it depends. Like once we go more in statistics, we calculate this outlier on the basis of the standard deviation that we calculate from the mean value. So there's a mathematical formula for it. Patterns, as I already discussed, by seeing the various patterns, okay, we are seeing that something is rising, something is falling, we decide the trend of a particular commodity. So these things can be easily achieved once we have a visualization in our hand. Now you can see in our school days, there were some problems which were given to us by the teacher. Okay, a student, we have these activities in the school, and like playing, reading storybooks, watching television, listening to music, painting. So how many number of students have registered for these activities? So the first thing that you are seeing right now is a tabular representation. Tabular representation means the data is represented in a form of a number. And below it, maybe in our school days also, a task was given. Okay, please make a bar chart for this. So as most of us have drawn this chart in our school days, where we have, this is like an x-axis and y-axis. I was just having a discussion that on x-axis, this is the x-axis on my chart, I have written activity, and on the y-axis, I have written the number of students, which is the frequency right now. So for all activities, there are the different frequencies, and I drawn it in a format of a bar chart. So as a human, what easily I can perceive from these two information on this particular slide, the first half, the top one, and the next half on the downside of the slide. Obviously, as a human, I see the graph below, and the larger bar catches my attention first. Okay, playing is having the higher number. So this is the beauty of a visualization, where instead of seeing the numbers on the table, we rely on the visuals. So this is, and such problems were given in our school days to us by our teachers. Now, once you move to the industry after the courses, basic course in computer science, or maybe some stats and all, once you join the industry, you will get some spreadsheet like this. This is normally an image of an Excel image, where we have the data in the tabular format. The first row in this is a column name, and rest all are the values which belongs to that particular column. So this is just like a tabular format, the table format of the data. Problem is, if these numbers are less, for example, right now you're on the screen, you're seeing that only from this second row to 22 or 23, there must somewhat like 22 rows of data in this particular sheet. But is this the only data you as a data scientist or data analyst will have in the industry? Answer is no, because once you sit on the seat of an analyst, you may have a very extensive data in front of you, which may have some lakhs of rows below it or on the spreadsheet. So is it easy to interpret this data? Very, very difficult, because our eyes cannot read these values. Like as a human, reading these 22 rows of data is very complicated, and I'm speaking about somewhat around lakhs of rows. You have 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh rows of data, and now somebody says you, okay dear, please interpret from this data. So it is not possible for us. So in industry, once you join as an engineer or data analyst or data scientist, you have to come out with some crisp information from this big pool of data, which is in tabular nature. Now, this is what the topic was, the power of data visualization. Now, what is this power of data visualization? The visualization power is just to convert this data, which is in raw format, in a tabular format, to some beautiful visualizations like this. So you may have some geographical maps, you may have some bubble chart, you may have some funnel chart, you may have line chart, bar chart, a tree map, or there are a number of visualization methods that are available to us. So these images normally helps the data scientist, data analyst to come to some conclusive remarks over the problem statement. So normally once we join the industry, our role is just to do some visualization on the data given to us, so that we give some initial remarks on the problem statement. Now, coming to the very interesting thing on basis of the visualization, there is something called a dashboard. Now, what dashboard is? A dashboard is a centralized display of multiple worksheets and related data in one location. very difficult to understand what this all about, sir. This is a centralized display of multiple worksheets. What is this worksheet, and what data you are speaking about? Oh yeah, this is a very basic question that comes in our mind. So don't be afraid of this definition. Dashboard, if I just conclude this, instead of going to this definition, uh, let me come to an image which will solve your doubts about like what dashboard is. The first thing that comes to our mind is a dashboard like this. This is a dashboard, or I can say a look of a cockpit of an airplane, where we have several you can say meters, the gauge meters, which these two pilots or co-pilot they are looking upon. And what these information about, these are all the very crucial information about the airplane, which is flying at some height of 10,000 feet or 15,000 feet. So with these parameters, the pilot takes the decision, okay, we have to go down. This is the air pressure right now. This is a fuel information about my plane. And these are the temperature which are available, which are coming from my various engines. What is the internal temperature of the airplane, and at what altitude I am flying. All such informations are coming on from this particular dashboard. So with the help of this dashboard, a very crisp defined, very well defined, you can say parameters on the screen, pilots and co-pilots take the decision about the plane. This is a one view. Another simple view that normally in our daily life we see is a car dashboard. Most of the cars nowadays, they are just upgraded. There's a lot of information in the car dashboard nowadays. The internal temperature, the mileage of the car, like what is the fuel efficiency right now, and the gear shift, whether we shift the engine correctly or not, the various indicators like what about the engine oil, the gear shift. These parameters gives a driver a hint about their car. Okay, something is going wrong in the vehicle, or everything is going fine. So these parameters which are on the car dashboard are always useful to the driver, okay, just to find out the condition of the vehicle during the runtime. And once I speak about the daily life dashboard, this is a dashboard for the managers. Managers means as a data scientist, data analyst, or IT manager once as an employee we join the company. So you see these charts. So instead of seeing the tabular format of the data, now I can analyze from this bubble chart, which I just highlighting on the screen. This is sheet number 5. The furniture, the technology, the office supplies. Obviously, the bubble which is in larger shape is having a higher frequency. The bubble which is having a lower size is having a lower frequency. Same way, this is something like a geographical chart which presents the world map, and based on the color, I may present the frequency of the commodity. Then we have a funnel chart like this. Obviously, they are used for different purpose. So the motto of showing this is that there is a dashboard which helps us as a decision making in the offices or in the industry. During this discussion, as I started with, I said that we will also go with some sort of hands-on, where I will make some dashboard for all the listeners here, and we will have some data from the sample superstore that I will just show you now. And we will go with such analysis like category wise sales analysis, category and subcategory wise profit analysis, state wise sales analysis, region and order date wise profit analysis, segment wise profit analysis, and finally we will make some dashboard out of it. So these are some of the problem statements that we will try to cover in this next 15-20 minutes on the tool called Tableau. So let's do this on a machine now. Like we have spoken too much about the concept, like what data visualization is, and let us see like how we can do it on the machine. So let me open first the data that I was speaking. This is an Excel sheet. This is an Excel sheet that we can see right now. The first column is the row ID. Then the Next column is the order ID, and likewise I can see there are various columns in this. So if I just see how many columns are there in this spreadsheet, I can see the count here on the downside, that is 22. So 22 columns in this particular Excel sheet. And how many rows? If I just see how many rows of data it is, I just count it. So there are total 9,994 rows of data in this particular sheet. So almost somewhat around 10,000 rows of data we are having in this particular Excel sheet. So there are different type of attributes in this, like order ID, date. This is like one of the data type. Then we have ship date, ship mode, customer ID. Like as a customer, we have some ID. We have customer name, the segment in which he has purchased, the country in which this guy has purchased, the city of the country, the state, the postal code, the region, the product IDs, and there are so many columns, along with some columns like sales, quantity, discount, profit, and target. So once we go with the analysis, we define these columns broadly in two ways. Either the column is a quantitative value, or it's like a qualitative value. So once I say about a quantitative variable or value, I can say sales, quantity, discount, profit, target. They are the quantitative. Quantitative means something which rely on the quantity. Okay, how much sales it is. So I can count, okay, mathematically, okay, this is like, if I sum out, this is the total sales. Quantity, how much quantity I can count. I can have some mathematical figures. Or more precisely, if I apply some mathematical formula on this variable, I can easily apply on it. So those variables where I can apply some mathematics functions are called quantitative variables. And there are certain variables where we not able to apply the mathematical functions are called qualitative variables, like name, region, postal code. So if I ask you what is the total sum of postal code, this question is totally irrelevant, because I cannot sum up the pin code of the various cities. Pin code are distinct in their nature, and we cannot sum the pin code of two cities. That is very obvious here. Same as a state also, somebody is from India and I say, okay, please sum the New Delhi with Punjab. Obviously we cannot do this. So, but it gives us information. So such variables where, or such attributes or columns where we are not able to apply the mathematical functions are called qualitative variables. So this is just a raw sheet, an Excel sheet, which is having 22 columns and around 10,000 rows of data. So now what analysis can I draw from this? Suppose this is some sales data, some data related to some superstore. So what analysis we can draw from this? So we have a beautiful tool, as I started my discussion with. This tool is known as a Tableau tool. So Tableau is an international company, which you can say which supports the data visualization. So Tableau is one of an option with us. We have different tools like I can say Power BI, which is given by Microsoft. Then there are free, you can say, data visualization tools which are given by the programming languages also. Like if you are aware of the Python, there are tools, there are libraries like Seaborn, Matploit. So using those libraries in the Python, one can do these visualizations as well. In R programming also, we have different libraries like ggplot and all. So all such libraries normally helps as a programmer to me to draw these visualizations in the data analysis. But once I say about the Tableau, I'm not going to do any code here. Rather, I'm just with the help of few clicks, I can draw a very beautiful visualization here. So this is a very basic, you can say, interface of the Tableau tool, where there are the sheets and which are coming from my Excel sheet here. You can see this is my Excel sheet I started my discussion upon. So there are sub sheets like order, people, return. So this is the order sheet that I'm showing you right now. So this is an order sheet. I just drag and drop here, and I can see these are the various columns which I just shown to you in the Excel sheet. You can see these, there are 22 columns here now. So now what else I can do from this? As I said, we will make some visualizations from this particular data that we have from the Excel sheet. So the first analysis that we will do is a category wise sales analysis. So these are my you can say the dimensions. Dimensions, as I said, they are the qualitative variables. These are my measures: discount, profit, quantity, sales, target. These are my quantitative variables, as I said, where I can apply the mathematical functions. So the first thing that we will do in this analysis is a category wise sales analysis. So one of my field is category. So I just move it on the column shelf. And next is my sales. So sales is my, you can say, another measure. I just drag and drop here. Yes. So now you can see, that, just a minute. Okay. So I can, you can see with the help of few clicks, we have the first analysis, because I just make it entire view, and I just make a very colorful visualization here with the help of the dimensions sales. I just move it on the colors, and yes, so on the colors I can use different colors here. Okay, edit color. So I say ki, okay, please use different divergence here, red, green, blue, apply. Okay, so I can see instead of okay, I can have some values on this bars also. This is a very basic bar chart, like as most of us have seen this in our school days. We used to draw this. As I started my presentation with a bar graph, student like to play and watching television. So with the help of few clicks, I can make a very good bar chart from this Excel data, that, or you can say the spreadsheet data that I've shown to you. So what else I can do here? I just move the sales on the label. Yes. So I can have a values on the top also. Okay, this is a value right now. So how I analyze this visualization? For furniture category, the sale amount is 942,000. So for office supplies category, the sale is 719,047, and for technology, the sales is 836,154. Can I sort it? Yes, I can sort it like this. So from the lowest, the next highest, and the highest. So this is like arranged in a sorted manner also. This is, you can say, one of the presentation that you can say one of the basic visualization that one can see here. Then we have category and year-wise sales target analysis. So here, just see that we will make something very interesting. We call it as a dual axis bar chart. So let me move the dimensions here on the column shelf. Then I'm having sales. Then I'm having target like this. And let me make it on an entire view. So this is like right now there are two different charts right now. So can I make a common one or like an overlap chart? Yes, I can make it. So then what I will do, I will just make it like a dual axis like this. Now I can, for the sum of sales, I make a bar chart, and for the target, I may again make it a bar chart, but I will make this little bit thinner so that we can see the view. Also, I will synchronize it. Maybe initially you're not clear with the things that I'm doing, but I'm showing you how easily we can analyze this data that I've shown you on the Excel sheet. Now, this is like a category wise sales and target. So maybe in your offices, you got a data in this Excel format. There is a target given to you and there's a sales that you achieved. Now you can see here, the target is a green one and the yellow one is a sales. So the target was given to us was this pillar and we achieved just a double of this or the 2.5 times. So I may have year-wise analysis also. So I can, with a very simple, you can say drag and drop. So suppose I say I move the order date on the column shelf. Now you can see year-wise analysis, and for every year now we are able to analyze now what is the conclusion for this particular visualization, which I did very easily with few clicks. I just drag and draw some dimension and measures on the row and column shelf, and now I can just compare the two things, the one with sales with the target. So every time I achieved a sales higher than the target given to me. This is what the conclusion is from the visualization, which is coming from this Excel sheet given to us, because one of my target was this one and I am doing this visualization. So this is our second chart. This one, the first one was a simple bar chart. This is like a dual axis chart. Then we have another analysis called state-wise sales analysis. So how can we make this? Now let me show you something called a geographical chart or geographical chart. So how can we make it? I select state and I select sales together and I go to very simple option of show me here in the Tableau and I just click it. So you can see this is a map of United States, and now seeing the color here, you can see the color gradient. 920 is the lowest value, which is greener is having the highest value of sales. So you can see New York, the value is 310876, and this is California, the value is 457,688, maybe the highest. So higher the color gradient means higher that value. Lower the darker means lower value here. So let me move the sales here to the label. I can show it on the geographical map like this. If you want the name also on the states, we can do this, like moving the states on the label like this. So with very few clicks, you can make this beautiful geographical chart, which is on the map of a country representing the sales of that particular region, and with the help of a color frame also, which show you the color show you the intensity of the sales here. Then we have region and order date wise profit analysis. So most of us have seen the line chart in our school days. So can I do this in a few clicks? Yes, I can do this. So I'm having region as one of my column. I'm having order date here, like where the customer has ordered something, and the profit analysis. I select these three columns together from my, you can say, the Tableau tool, and I just go and select the, you can say, the line chart very easily with few clicks. And what is the relevance of selecting the line chart here? Because one of my analysis is order date. So somebody wants to see the trend. Trend is always observed on the basis of the time factor. So you can see that something which is going trending is on the upside, some which is a downtrend is going downside. So two of my regions, maybe like South and Central, they are downtrending, means that sales is going, profit is going downside as a year we are moving towards, and the region which is West and East, they are going towards the upside. So with the help of very few clicks, somebody can analyze the trend also on this huge amount of data which is given on this Excel sheet. Otherwise, if somebody asks you what is the trend from this data that is raw in nature, it's very difficult to explain. But with this few clicks, you can make a line chart, and you can just give a very comprehensive answer. Yes, this things is going up and things is going down. So this is our 1, 2, 3, fourth analysis, and the last analysis is the segment-wise profit analysis. So all of us have seen a pie chart in our school days. So how pie chart helps in this? Like we have segment, we have profit, and let me go to the option, something called pie chart. So I select the pie chart suggestion here in this tool. I say entire view. So this is the basic pie chart here. Now, if I just move the segment, we have a segment on the label. Like you can see, this pink portion belongs to home office. This saffron belongs to corporate, and consumer, and which shows a higher number, belongs to the bluish portion represent the consumer. And also let us move the profit on the label like this. So this is the amount. So this is a very basic pie chart which represents the segment. There are 3 segments in this data set: home, office, consumer, and this. So somebody says, okay, this is a numeric value. Can you make this in a percentage format? So we just change the type of measure here into percent. So like I say, percent of total. Yes. With very simple click, I just make, okay, the overall you can say segment wise profit of consumer is 46.83. From home office it is 21.05, and 32.12 is a corporate. So this is a basic share of every segment on this particular one. This is again very easy thing that we can do with simple clicks on the Tableau interface, and one can see a very beautiful chart here. So with the overall just conclusion that we have seen so far, like we go on with the category wise sales analysis. The first analysis that we do, this is a bar chart that we have drawn. Then we have category and year wise sales target analysis. Then we have seen a dual axis bar chart. So this is like an overlapping of 2 charts over it, two bar charts on XY axis. Then we have state-wise, where we have seen a geographical map. This is again one of very nice, beautiful chart that normally use in the on the visualizations. Then this is a line chart which just tell us about the trends, like where the trend is going up. And for finding a trend, one must have a date column, or one of the date information available with it. Now, if you see in the date, I'm having 2019, the year information I'm having. So for finding a trend, you must have a time as one of the coordinates. This is like how you can find out the conclusion here. And the segment wise profit analysis. So this is our 5th analysis. Now what next? This is what we have drawn with our data that we have seen. Can we make a dashboard out of it? As I said earlier, like I've shown you the cockpit dashboard, I've shown you the car dashboard. So as a manager, can I see all these important parameters during my office time? Yes, I can do it. So very simple clicks, like there's an option of new dashboard. If you see my mouse here, new dashboard. This is a dashboard sheet here. And let me make this on the full screen mode. Yes. So I just drag and drop here. This is my first analysis. Let it be floating. This is styled. So okay, let me do this again. We have category wise. This is my first chart that I'm showing to you. So this is all like a drag and drop. Then we have category wise year analysis. I can place it here. Then we have state wise analysis. Then we have region wise analysis and the segment wise also. Let me make it on the fixed full screen. Desktop can have fixed automatic. Yes. So let me rearrange this because you are the designer here, so you can make the relevant changes as per the screen dimensions. So with the help of few clicks, you can reduce the size of this also. So I said it's not fitting too much conveniently here. So I just resize it, the various headers. So let make it like 16 or let be much higher in size, apply, okay, so that it is conveniently viewed by the users. Okay. Then we have a region-wise sales analysis. Let's reduce the size here to suppose 15, apply, okay. This is one analysis. And the last one may be here, somewhat like this, and drawn it, make it suppose 14, okay, like this. So if I say this is my view, and on the full screen it looks like this. Let me come down here. Let me move this also downside. So you can see here on the entire screen, like if you have a very big screen in your office, you can see all these 5 reports on your office dashboard. Maybe you are working as a IT manager or data manager. So all this data that is coming right now is showing you this dynamic information. Why I'm saying dynamic? Because right now this information I'm drawing is from Excel sheet or the spreadsheet, but you may have a live connection also from the various sources. Maybe your different sales offices are there which are generating this data. So in my initial you can say discussion, once I started, I just to inform you that this data can be a live data as well. So your team which is doing a sales, you're doing which is just going with the different analysis, may share you the live data. So these charts will be created on the live information as well. Means it is just like values may be changing as well based upon the time factor. Like in the IPL matches, normally you see that the charts are dynamic in nature, they are changing. So this is like a static, but it can be a dynamic chart also for the visualization. So with the help of, if I just conclude my discussion here that I've gone with last 45 minutes, is somewhat like we have our data. We have enormous amount of data with us, and we have to give some conclusive information out of it. So what else we can do? We make a better visualizations like this, and these visualizations normally they help us in creating the uh, conclusions, the final you can say outcomes. These are the various charts, and now what is the first conclusion we can draw from this geographical chart? Suppose somebody is asking, so you can just very slightly say, very confidently say, okay, California is having the highest sales. This pink portion or the reddish portion, they are having a low sale here. Somebody says, okay, what is the which consumer segment or which segment is having a higher profit? So you just see the pie chart here. Very easily you can say, okay, consumer is having the highest one in the overall profit sharing here. So this is what you can say. If somebody asks you, okay, just tell me, every time we give you a target, so are you able to achieve the target? So with the help of this graph, you can say, yes, we almost achieved double of what the target is given to us in terms of the sales. So this type of very crisp and conclusive remarks can be drawn from such visualizations only. So with the help of few clicks in the tool like Tableau, Power BI, or in programming languages like Python, where we use some libraries like Matplotlib, Seaborn, you write obviously some code there, but we can make some beautiful charts like this, which help us to understand this data in better manner. So I hope this session was informative to all of you. Once we try to start this webinar, the intention was just to make you aware what this visualization is all about, and how it can help the data analyst, the initial learners, to see the data, like how you go through with these data points and make some conclusion out of it. So I'm done from my side. I welcome the questions. If some questions are there from these attendees who are attending this program, I will be happy to answer those questions here.
Sir, thank you so much, first of all, for giving this whole presentation, this insightful yet informative, very informative presentation. And we have a response from Saraswati, and it says understood and very useful. So these are the remarks that we are already getting for you, sir, for the presentation that you've given. So thank you so much. And sir, yes, we do have a lot of questions from our registrants, and some of them, so can I take them up, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Sure.
Okay. Okay. Also, before I take up the questions, I just want all the participants to know, now you can post your questions in the chat box or the Q&A box. So if you have any query, your thought regarding the topic, regarding the webinar, if you want to ask any question, just write in the chat box or the Q&A box so that we can ask the expert here. And yeah, so this one question, it's very common question. It does come in every webinar related to the tech basically, is, sir, what are those some commonly used tools and softwares that can be helpful for creating data visualization?
In my discussion, I have given some names. The first one that I was using was a Tableau. So it's an industry-based tool. More oftenly, they are used in the IT industry from few years now. And along with it, there is some tool like Microsoft Power BI. Then we have ClickSense. If you go for the open source things, like there is something called Python programming, like their libraries Matplotlib, Seaborn. In the R programming, if you're going with, there are some libraries called ggplot and all. Along with, there are so many tools which provided the visualizations, like SPSS. This is also providing the visualization. So there are a number of tools, but more oftenly the Power BI, the Tableau, they are oftenly used in the IT industries.
Right. Thank you, sir. So this question is from Viraha Sharma. So it says that what are the real world scenarios of data analysis? And like I was just listening to the webinar, and you've shown how it can be used in sales and marketing. So are there any other industries as well which can use this basically data visualization?
In almost all the sectors.
Right.
Almost all the sectors, whether you are in healthcare, you are in automobile, or you are in manufacturing, production, everywhere data visualization is helpful. Like even if I take a very small example, a few years back, I was just listening to my some uncle who is working in some oil rigging company. So there are, like, once you see, there are different oil rigs in the sea where from they extract the oil, petroleum product. So one of the sector is production is going down. So identify which particular oil rig is not performing well. They use a data visualization technique. And now at the end, after gathering some 10-15 days of data, they find, okay, this particular sector is not producing. And at the end, they go with the underground, you can say, machines. They reach the bottom of the sea and they make it the corrections there. They found the error was there. So with the help of visualizations, every sector, whether it's like industry or manufacturing, healthcare, everywhere a visualization is helpful.
Right. And so there's this question, I mean, this is an extended question of the same, is how can individuals actually improve their data visualization skills and stay updated with the latest trends in this particular field?
It's simple. Like normally we say, somebody asks like how when one can be very good in mathematics. As much as you do practice, once you go with the problem statements, once you go with the live statements, or more and more problem statements, your intuition starts working. Visualization is more about intuition. It's more about the thinking process. Somebody may have the data points in front of them, but may not able to harness the total outcome of it. So it's more about like how you see the data, how you visualize it. So it normally comes with experience. The more problems you face, the more you reinforce your mind and you learn.
Yeah, like the very, very famous saying, practice makes a man perfect.
Yes.
Right, right. So here, attendees, you can just practice the same and you can get the perfection, and you can learn a lot more things when you come in here in the LPU, and the teachers, the experts like Robin sir here will be helping you through all these things. So if you're interested, you can come in here. Now, for this, sir, I would want to take your permission. And before that, I would want to extend my thanks, sir, for coming in, for giving in your time.
Thank you.
And yeah, and for crediting it basically, so your experience, your knowledge to all of us. And I hope that all the students have enjoyed and gained. As Saraswati said, it was very useful. I hope that it must have been useful for everyone who have attended this session and who might see it on YouTube as well. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you so much.
yeah, and now, sir, I would want to take your permission to show them a little about the site as well, like if they want to take admission, so how they can actually take it.
Sure.
Right. So for this, to all the admission related queries, this one-shot resolution will be there. That is our site, lpu.in. So you can just check it. That is lpu.in. So once you just put in the site in any of the browser, this will be the interface that will be coming in front of you. Now, these are all the highlights of the university, right? So I will just quickly move to admission part. So once I click on this admissions here, you can see different programs after 12th, after graduation, after post-graduation, 10th, diploma, etc., etc. So they're very beautifully segregated here. So I'm just taking an example of, let's say you are a student who has done your 12th grade and want to take an just admission in a regular program. So go to after 12th regular program, click on this, and once you click on the regular program, there will be a whole lot of disciplines that would be visible to you. You name any of it and we have it here. You name it physiotherapy, we have it here. Planning, design, fashion design, mathematics, education, political science, zoology, computer science and engineering. And since we've been talking a lot about the same, why not take an example of the same? So once I clicked on this particular program, particular discipline, we have all the courses that are offered under that particular discipline. You can just check it here. We have different whole lot of courses that are offered under the computer science and application. And I will be just simply giving an example of, let's say, BTech CSC. So once I click on BTech CSC, this will be the interface that will be coming in front of you. And these are the options that would be useful to you, and this will give you every detail you want about a particular program. So program details, basically it is already highlighted, so it gives you the eligibility criteria, whether you are eligible or not. So here you can find the eligibility. Moving on to the highlight option, that gives you the rankings of the university, students' achievement, what all researches, publications, patents, and the average placement and high salary, the students which are more interested in, you would be finding in the highlight option. going to the curriculum part, which actually tells you what you will be studying, in particular course in your 3-4 years program, what are the topics and in which term you're going to study what. I think that would help you to make a disciplined decision as to whether you want to proceed with the course or not. Moving on to the fee structure, that gives you an idea of what the fee of program is. You can just check it out, 1,20,000. But again, this is not something that our students do pay usually. Why? Because they get a lot of scholarships. And similarly, we have 3 slabs of scholarship, 3 categories, basically 1, 2, and 3. And we have different options for you to avail that particular scholarship on the basis of your JEE Main, on the basis of your 12th marks, or on the basis of your LPU score. So you can just check it out in which category you fall in and start apply for the scholarship. And we have other scholarships as well. So you can just click on the scholarships, and we have financial aids and other scholarships, like if you have been part of a startup or entrepreneur or innovation program, or if you've been a topper of a board. So you're more than welcome here to get the scholarship. Now is the important date. So once I click on the important date, 10th July will be the last date of the admission. So start applying for the course. And how you can apply, simply click on this apply now option. You're required to fill in some bare minimum requirements, like certain your name, address, etc., and you click on the submit. And after that, you click on you'll be given your dashboard, and from there you can apply for the course or the test that you want to. Now, if you want to talk to us in LPU, you can simply schedule a call. You can WhatsApp us, or you can have a live video counseling session as well. It is available on the site itself. And I hope that I've given you a brief as to what is required from your end in order to take participation in the course or the test that you want to take. And if you have any query, you can just post in the chat box or Q&A box. And if not, then I would want to take permission from our expert here to wrap this webinar up, sir. Can I?
Yeah, ma'am, sure. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much again for coming in here and for giving in your time. And thank you so much to all the participants also for coming in and for sending us your questions. So at last, I would just want you to know that you can just, if you have missed any part of this particular program, this session, you can watch it on YouTube or our site as well, that is lpu.in. And until next webinar, stay safe and stay healthy, and meet you soon in the next webinar. Thank you so much for joining in.